Now, remember we had a story about New York and how they weren't going to legalize e-bikes because, I don't know, it annoyed them or something. But then during this whole, worldwide shutdown, they were like, "Oh, e-bikes are okay. We're going to, turn the other cheek when it comes to that law."
Right.
Didn't I just hear something about them legalizing them?
Yeah, so New York finally legalized e-bikes and scooters. So basically, the budget language is almost exactly the same as a bill that was almost passed last year that was vetoed by Andrew Cuomo. Basically, Cuomo didn't like that there weren't enough helmet laws in place. When it comes to helmet laws, I just refer right back to Seinfeld. I think that he covered that really well.
The only thing dumber than the helmet is the helmet law, the point of which is to protect a brain that is functioning so poorly, it's not even trying to stop the cracking of the head that it's in.
Irregardless, they have passed this bill, and it basically opens it up for ownership of e-bikes and e-scooters. There are some limits, but I think that they're very reasonable. We'll get to those in a second. And it opens up the door for dockless scooters like Bird and Lime, but they would need to be permitted by municipalities before launching.
Which
and I
makes
think
sense, yeah.
Makes complete sense.
Work
because
with your cities first.
We've seen what happens when you dump the scooters out on the road, and
Right.
the towns have nothing to say about them.
It throws e-mobility back years when you just dump these scooters because then everyone's like, I don't like them. But it's not that you didn't like the scooters, it's you didn't like how they did the launch.
Right. So this law creates 3 classes of e-bikes. Class 1 is pedal assist with no throttle. Class 2 is throttle assist with a maximum speed of 20 miles an hour. And Class 3 is throttle powered with a maximum speed of 25 miles an hour. E-scooters will be capped at 15 miles an hour, and riders under 18 must be required to wear a helmet. Helmets would also be required for riders of Class 3 e-bikes. This is a law that we can get behind. I know that there were a lot of European and French viewers who were just super offended that we thought that their laws were way too strict on e-bikes, and I guess they thought we wanted to have some kind of daredevil school just start up in every country in Europe. No, this is what we're talking about. 20 miles an hour, and here it is in kilometers an hour, I think is a reasonable speed to be traveling on an e-bike. And 25 with a throttle powered, I think it's just really nice. It allows you to have some flexibility depending on what you can do as a person.
The biggest problem is we just don't have the infrastructure in most places for any kind of e-mobility other than cars.
Or bikes in general.
We built our whole society on cars. And so when you try and introduce pedestrians or bikes or e-bikes or scooters, then it becomes a big mess in many places just because you don't have rules for it and infrastructure for it.
Right.
So that's the problem. We need to start redesigning our cities, and it's expensive and it takes time to do.
Right. Thanks so much for watching this Now You Know clip.
Head over to Now You Know channel for full episodes of Tesla Time News and In Depth.
And if you want to treat yourself and your family to something amazing, check this out.
Jesse and I have been enjoying Masterclass, where we've been learning all sorts of fun topics from the masters themselves. Magic from Penn and Teller. Yes, that Penn and Teller.
Filmmaking from Spike Lee. Yeah, that Spike Lee.
TV writing from Shonda Rhimes.
Acting from Helen Mirren.
And so many more.
Click the link down below to support our channel and experience what it's like to learn from the masters at Masterclass.